Why does creative burnout happen? Imagine pouring your energy into a project, feeling inspired and motivated, then suddenly hitting a wall where nothing seems to flow anymore. That's what creative burnout feels like. It sneaks up on many people who love to create, whether they are artists, writers, designers, or anyone who relies on their imagination. But why does it happen? Let's explore what's really going on inside the human mind and body that causes this exhaustion. When you work on creative tasks for a long time without taking breaks, your brain starts to tire. Creativity depends on cognitive processes like thinking, problem solving, and imagining. These processes need mental energy, which can get drained if you push too hard without rest. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you overuse it without recovery, it gets sore and less effective. This is why resting and recharging are so important for creative minds. Another big reason is stress and pressure. When deadlines loom or you set very high standards for yourself, your brain perceives this as a threat. This triggers a stress response that floods your system with hormones like cortisol. High cortisol levels can impair brain functions that are essential for creativity, like memory and flexible thinking. Over time, this stress can lead to mental fatigue, making it harder to come up with new ideas. Perfectionism also plays a role. When you constantly chase flawless work, you may become dissatisfied with your efforts. This self-criticism drains motivation and, turning the act of creating into a chore rather than a fun process. When the G of creation is replaced by fear of failure, your brain begins to associate creative work with negative feelings, which can cause burnout. Repetitive or uninspiring tasks can also cause burnout. When your work lacks novelty or challenge, your brain loses interest. Creativity thrives on variety and new experiences. Without these, engagement drops, and your mind may start to resist the effort altogether. External factors like criticism or negative feedback can add to the problem. If you're constantly worried about others, opinions, or facing rejection, your brain becomes more anxious. Anxiety reduces your ability to think freely and can lead to mental exhaustion, making creative ideas harder to generate. Physical health is another piece of the puzzle. Poor sleep, unhealthy eating, and chronic stress weaken your cognitive functions. When your body isn't well, your brain struggles to perform at its best, especially the parts involved in generating ideas and solving problems. Today's social media culture also influences burnout. Many creators seek approval through likes and shares. When validation becomes dependent on external approval, it creates a fragile sense of self. Rejection or lack of recognition can hit hard, making you doubt your abilities and leading to emotional exhaustion. It's important to remember that experiencing creative burnout doesn't mean you lack talent or passion. It's a sign that your mind and body need a break. Creativity is like a garden. It needs watering, sunlight, and rest to flourish. When you ignore these needs, burnout is a natural response from your brain signaling that it's time to pause and recover. Managing burnout involves setting boundaries. Take regular breaks, switch tasks, and allow yourself time to relax. Try to focus on the G of creating rather than just the outcome. Balancing work with leisure and social activities helps keep your mind fresh. Improving your overall health with good sleep, nutritious food, and stress management also supports your creative processes. In the end, creative burnout happens because your brain and body are working hard but not getting enough time to recharge. Recognizing these signs early can help you protect your mental health and keep your creative energy flowing for years to come.